Now let's take a look at angle of elevation and depression. Both the angle of elevation and the angle of depression start at the horizontal, as seen right here. As she looks up, she creates an angle of elevation. So that's from the horizontal going upward. So that angle that is formed is called the angle of elevation. As she looks down, that's the angle of depression. Angle of depression is formed from the horizontal going downward. So that angle formed is the angle of depression. As you can see here, the angle of depression and the angle of elevation can be viewed as the same angle from two different viewpoints. So they're both looking at each other, one with an angle of elevation having the same angle as the other one's angle of depression. From this angle, a triangle can be formed. You'll actually have the same triangle if you spin it around, showing you that pretty much the opposite side is the opposite side in both triangles. The adjacent is the same in both triangles, and the hypotenuse is also the same in both triangles. So let's use this triangle as an example. That's the angle of elevation or depression. That's the opposite side, or the height, or the vertical distance. And this works for both angle of elevation and depression. That is the adjacent side, or the distance from the base, or the horizontal distance. And that is the hypotenuse, otherwise known as the direct distance. So here's a word problem. There's a tall tree in your backyard and you think it might hit your house if it fell over. You measure that the base of the tree is 48 feet from your house, but you don't know how tall the tree is. To determine the height of the tree, you stand just outside your back door and measure the angle of elevation from the ground to the tree to be 64 degrees. How tall is the tree? So we're going to use our triangle that we've already made, and we're going to read the question over in sections. There's a tall tree in your backyard. Well, that would represent the tree. The base of the tree is 48 feet from your house. So that's a horizontal distance. That's the bottom. You don't know how tall the tree is. To determine the height of the tree, you stand just outside your back door and measure the angle of elevation from the ground to the tree to be 64. So that gives you your angle. How tall is the tree? So we're looking for the height of the tree. So here we have an angle, we have the adjacent, and we're looking for the opposite. Now let's remember SOHCAHTOA for a second. Which one of these three involve the opposite and the adjacent? We're looking for opposite, we have adjacent, so those are the two sides that are involved. The answer is tangent. So all we have to do is plug in what we got from the triangle. The angle is 64 and the adjacent is 48, and we're looking for opposite. So in order to solve, we just need to multiply both sides by 48, and we get 48 times 64, which you would then put in your calculator, which is approximately 98.4. So let's do this last example. If a man is about to ski down a steep mountain, he estimates the angle of depression. So I'm just going to draw my triangle. My angle is 24. He knows that he is 800 feet higher than the base of the course. So that's a height measurement. That is going to be the opposite. How long is the path that he will ski? Now, he's not skiing a horizontal distance, so we're trying to find direct distance. So we want to know hypotenuse. So basically what we do is we realize that we have opposite and hypotenuse involved. Now because opposite and hypotenuse are involved, that means we're going to use sine. So sine 24 is going to be equal to opposite over hypotenuse. I'm just going to call it h. So how do we solve this? Well, we can't solve for h while it's in the denominator. So my first step will be to multiply both sides by h. After that, I'm trying to get h by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by sine 24 and get h is equal to 800 over sine 24. Then you're going to put that in the calculator and you're going to get approximately 1967 feet. All right, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know.